Today will be another day that lives in infamy in American history, similar to Pearl Harbor and 9/11.
We can now add January 6th, 2021, to that very short list of dates in American history that will live forever in infamy.
The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War.
150 days since the worst single act of political violence since the Civil War.
The worst attack on American democracy, arguably, probably since the Civil War.
The greatest attempted insurrection since the Civil War.
The 1/6 attacks are likely to kill a lot more Americans than were killed on the 9/11 attacks.
Though there was less loss of life on January 6th, January 6th was worse than 9/11.
Super spreader events and giving Russian disinformation, spreading Russian disinformation.
Disinformation that he knows to be fabricated and supplied by a foreign intelligence service. And despite the warning, he's still doing it.
You have said this entire thing is so obviously a Russian plot.
It's sort of a crazy quilt at this point, which has all the hallmarks of Russian disinformation. That said, it wasn't for lack of trying.
Rudy basically functioning as a Russian asset by pushing Russian disinformation.
CNN reported on Friday that U.S. authorities are seeing if those emails we just talked about are connected to an ongoing Russian disinformation effort.
Picnic died after being hit in the head with a fire extinguisher during the hours-long attack.
They beat a Capitol police officer to death with a fire extinguisher.
Officer Brian Sicknick died after being hit in the head with a fire extinguisher during the fight.
He died at the age of 42 after he was bludgeoned with a fire extinguisher.
Anybody who has any connection to reality about what is going on around them should have watched that and said, the adults are back in the room.
It seems as though we have a professional adult once again in the White House who's just simply doing the work.
Really, the theme, I would say, is the adults are back.
Still, it is a relief to have adults in charge.
Now we have adults in the White House.
Okay, the adults are back in the room.
There is a sense, I think, the world over that the adults have returned.
We have an adult in the White House now,
what he did was ensure
and it's
the
glorious.
guardrails were in place. So I give him high marks for this based on what's described in the book.
I think Milley felt ill-used by the episode on Lafayette Square when he was used as a prop. So one can understand Milley's anxieties.
We were in a period of extraordinary danger. I think General Milley is going to be treated very favorably by history.
Plan once we withdraw. So this over-the-horizon capability was demonstrated. I thought it was effective.
You call this strike remarkable.
This is a realization of what President Biden calls the over-the-horizon strategy.
The military event today is so much more than just a single drone strike. It is a projection of power. It is a message from the United States government that even though we're leaving, we're not done with counterterrorism operations. Even though we're going to have to do this, as they say, over the horizon from remote locations, and it's going to be far more challenging, we can still...
That image of at least one Border Patrol agent using a whip and was effectively trying to lasso some of the migrants.
I was not aware that whips, which come from the slavery era, were part of the package that we issue to any sort of law enforcement or government-sanctioned personnel.
Disturbing new video and images taken at the U.S.-Mexico border that appear to show law enforcement officers on horseback using aggressive tactics to confront migrants.
What they're seeing is despicable, disgusting, cruel. Those are the words that I've been hearing from activists that I've been talking to.
As an image, to me, it does smack of a bygone era.
Not weaponize a horse to aggressively attack a child. That is unacceptable. That is not what our policies and our training require. Please understand, let me be quite clear. That is not acceptable.
They're getting caught up in what I call the brown menace, which is this Trumper right-wing fear of people coming into the country from Central and South America. These people seem to be getting swept up into that xenophobia.
Stephen Miller's response to the collapse of Afghanistan, the fall of Kabul, the takeover of the Taliban was, look at Biden, he's trying to get brown people to come into the country. It's sickening and it's pathetic.